All right, I think we are on. So, good afternoon, everyone. But before we dive into today's webinar, I want to make sure that our audio is working smoothly. So, just if you can hear me clearly, just please let us know. Send us some happy smiley faces in the chat. And if you're experiencing any audio issues, please let us know as well so that we can fix it. So, I'm waiting for your messages in the chat. Okay. All right. Okay. Fabulous. Okay. It seems like most of you can hear me well, which means that we can get started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our webinar on smart city automation. My name is Anna, and I will be your host today. So for over 7 years, I've been involved in the evolution of the Kaa platform from both customer success and development side. And today marks a very special day because this is the first time we're doing the webinar in form of a live panel discussion. So I hope you enjoy listening to it half as much as we enjoyed preparing it for you. All right, so let's dive in what's in store for today. I'm pretty sure that you guys are a well-educated crowd, so this might not be the first time when you've heard, about this somewhat elusive concept of smart cities. That's become a bit of a running joke. Like seriously, I'm still waiting for 4G. So, but I can absolutely guarantee that we are going to get serious. Okay, maybe not serious, but we are going to get real. We will talk about actual use cases and not only talk about them, we will show you what we implemented, the Smart Pole solution. So I'd like to extend the warmest possible welcome to our special guest, Mr. Dietmar Brunsch, the Innovations Manager at Radio Frequency Systems, a Germany-based global designer and manufacturer of cable and antenna systems, in operation for more than 120 years. Hi, Dietmar. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, everybody. Warm welcome from my side, and it's a pleasure to be here today.
Thanks for joining. Yeah. So I hope, Dietmar, that you're ready because you're going to be under a lot of questioning today.
Okay, go ahead. I am ready.
Okay. So I'd really love to start with some, basic background. So if you can share, with the audience how and why you came up with the idea to build a modular smart pole. Can you start with that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a question to broaden our business engagement. So we are traditionally a supplier of things for mobile infrastructure, and we want to do more. We do want to go into services. We want to be part of a connected city, what we call connected city. But we don't want to be just another small cell infrastructure company, or how to say something like this. So we thought about what are the challenges at street level communication. And the main thing here is that you will not get the one solution for every place, the one solution for every customer, the one solution even for the same customer that is good for every position. So we decided to take an approach that is modular, both in structure and in functionality. So to be able at the end of the day to produce even single parts for our customers.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the key here is to create adaptable structures that bring, the right services to the right place. And for me, this approach of modular building blocks seems like a smart solution. So can you elaborate a bit more on, what are the modules that your pole has? Can you tell us a bit more about the functions of each block, of each module?
Yes, sure. Yeah. So basis of all would be a cabinet. So something to host the equipment that is not for environmental exposure. so we said, okay, as a basis, we will have a kind of cabinet. We don't want to have something sitting aside, so we pile things up. The natural next step would be something to host radios. Typically, they are quite heat dissipating, so we need something here that is at the same time free to airflow, and then on the other hand is a bit hidden from the direct view. So we created a structure that provides rails to mount the radios from the and some open meshed structure to hide them. At the same time, these rails also provide the ability to attach things from the outside, like lights or screens or sensors or whatever is needed there. And for sure, whatever is for street level communication, it needs an antenna, and nobody likes to see antennas. So we need some structures to conceal them. With the challenge of active antennas that don't want to be sealed. So we have modules for all these kind of antennas to be on top, and everything can be piled up to hide whatever is needed up to 15 meters if it's really needed for the real grown-up thing. And on the other hand, we can attach then like LoRa, Wi-Fi, mobile services, whatever you like to have in this structure.
Like a Lego, right? Lego
yes,
blocks.
like a Lego. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right. So different situations call for different tech setups, right? And
yes,
drawing from your Lego analogy, let's talk about the major challenges in creating a solid smart pole system. I mean, have you encountered any
yes, of
challenges?
course. So if you start to think about Lego systems, you have in Lego you have to push the bricks a lot that it will be sustainable. In our case, if you need to find a way to let the structure withstand wind speeds up to 220 kilometers per hour. We see recently a lot. So you have to make this mechanical stable. On the other hand, this is a multi-stakeholder structure, and in both in mechanical ways and also in technical ways. So you have to be able to fulfill all the requirements of the different stakeholders, and you have to separate data and all this and the access to the data, access to the thing. And last not but least, all these structures will be placed in places where the access is limited in time. So we wanted to provide a structure that can be built in just 1 or 2 days. So from being there to be really on air, it should be not more than 2 days. And we achieved it.
That's great. By the way, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them here in the chat. And at the end of the webinar, we're going to have a Q&A session, and we will take a look at some of them. All right, let's turn our attention to sustainability. How exactly do smart poles play a role in advancing smart cities? What are specific environmental benefits that they bring to the table?
Yeah, discussion is always if you put a new structure somewhere in the city, it will consume power. So power means somehow you create CO2. So you have to do something to reduce it. On the other hand, the huge potential on localized data is that you can guide people where they want to be, that the environment, and therefore you can, if it's meshed, if you can guide on larger scale the people where they want to be, and you can utilize equipment like signage, typically used just for advertisement, for other things as well. So it can be shared between then if you have localized data, you can even lower the impact of trolleys going collecting garbage or taking care about the street, because you know the status. So and if you go, last but not least, if you go really on street level communication, you can reduce the RF impact on the street by having more cells on with the smaller radiuses, and then you have lower impact of radiating power to the people.
Right. So, and these are just like some of the use cases, right? Because, I'm confident, that as our society continues to evolve, new needs will arise, right? And in this context, the modularity of the solution provides a great deal of flexibility and the potential for expansion to accommodate growing demands and the requirements, right, for additional features.
Absolutely.
Which is great. So, and let's dig a bit deeper. Like when it comes to these smart poles, who would you say has the highest level of interest?
To our understanding, municipalities should have it, because they want to increase attractivity of their places. They want to bring the people into their area. They want to create an environment where maybe you can live as you like. You can manage your work-life balance or whatever. So and on the other hand, you want to have secure places. So we don't want to have it, but if something happens and you press an emergency button, it would be great if the helpers are guided by some special lightning or whatever to the place where you are. So feeling more safe, better with better data and so on, will bring the people to the place, and therefore municipalities.
That actually brought me, to my next question. Like, what do you think are like the main reasons for bringing smart pole solutions into our cities? And like, what do you think drives the adoption of such a technology nowadays?
Yeah, it would be great to understand, and we would be glad if we have the one, let's say, killer application or whatever. So the one application like the iPhone for the connected cities, but it's different. So the reality is different. Everybody has its own ideas about this, and this is why we have to have this modular structure, because the one application is not there, and everybody may have different drivers to bring such structures into the street. In principle, our structures are the enabler for the vision of our customers. So whatever they envision, we will make it happen.
Yeah, cool. I really loved it when you said that the reality is different. It triggers me so much because, through I think through 8 years, we've been delivering, end-to-end solutions on top of the Kaa platform. And we've seen many organizations with unrealistic expectations in terms of IoT. And I've been always like a strong advocate for keeping things real, and simple at the same time.
Yes,
right.
sure.
So, I think that's great what you shared. So, that brings us actually to the next block. So hold on to your seats, because we are about to zoom in on the RFS Smart Pole solution and the KaaIoT platform. So I'd really love to kick off the car-related segment by taking a trip down memory lane. I can't believe it's been a good few years, and I can still recall our very first chat, very vividly. So, with so many options out there in the market, I'm kind of curious, what made you choose to embark on this journey with us?
Yeah, so actually I came across Kaa many years ago, and unfortunately we in those days, we selected another solution to realize our supervision task, and uh, we we managed it at the end of the day, but we discontinued. So after a few years, I get back into this business, and I came again across Kaa and see the tremendous things that has been done. And so I tried again, and I was so surprised how good the solution was, and um, yeah the good things you did, and the good support I get from you, and yeah, it was the right decision to start again with Kaa, and I'm very glad we did this.
All right, all right. I'm really happy to hear that as well. And you know what they say, the best is yet to come, right? So now maybe we should zoom in a little bit and look at what the Smart Pole dashboard does within the KaaIoT platform. So could you please share, show our audience some of the work done on
Yes,
the
if
dashboard? Yeah,
can you see my dashboard already?
I can see. Yeah.
Great. So here we have the smart city, the connected city in front of us. It's well organized, it's clean, and it's hot. And to reduce the temperature in the cities, we think the green, what we call green zones, are the most appropriate way. But we need to keep them alive, and we don't want to look at them every day. So we have an automated green zone. Let's say it like this. Um, a green zone with data giving the status of the soil. Hello, green zone. Here we have a sample of places where we have green zones, and we see two of them are good, one needs attention. So it's like, I don't think I need to go into details of Kaa. The map is always displaying the sites. So if we go for connected city, it's always a question where we are, where the data comes from, and what the status of the place is. And here we have the green zone, and we have for sure always a detailed look for it. Again, we have here a location. We see soil is wet, so in principle we should not, we are not, it's nothing is necessary at this place. Water is filled, but we can water it so that some of the water is put into the soil, and then tank is leveled. If the water is going down, an alarm is generated, and somebody knows to refill this place. Okay, and then to enjoy these green places or these green zones, we have to park somewhere, and therefore we manage parking places. So, where are my parking places? Here are my parking places. Currently, again, we have our overview where the parking places are. And in this case, what are the natural data you need for parking places is the occupation. In the background, if there's a navigation system and people want to go to this place, they wouldn't be navigated to this parking place, because here we have one that is quite free. And for sure, we will have also detailed information about these places. They are given us by sensors built into the ground, and yeah, the data is very low data and is sent by LoRa network to the system. And we see here some of the parking lots are occupied, some are charged. We have also here
Mhm.
one guy that is occupying a charging place but is not charging. So if you need one, you can ask him to remove. Um, in the background, you can also measure the power that is
Mhm.
dissipated by the parking or by the charging places, and you can ask for the money for this because you know who was at this place. Yeah, all these people are in the city. All these people generate garbage, and it should be collected. And sometime this garbage bins needs to be emptied. But we can do more than just going around and having a look or doing it on a regular basis. We can implement a system that knows which garbage bin has to be collected, and then in the background organize our trucks to grab or to empty it um, to the right places and giving them notice where to drive next. So we have a map here as well, both, and this is also one nice feature of Kaa, both with static locations, as we have here for the garbage bins and the drop-off area, but we also have the cars or the trolleys collecting the garbage and being on the way to do something. One is on traveling here, one is stopping. I don't know whether they have a breakfast or whatever, but okay, let's have them. Um, maybe we see some new full garbage bin here, and we can press a button to optimize the routes, and then the
Mhm.
driver gets a new route um, to the device
Guide him
and knows.
to the place where he can have a breakfast, right, or lunch.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe a nice message. Please go ahead. We have some more for you to do. And maybe it's a combined garbage collector and green zone water refiller, so we can do both in one shot. And there are structures to make this happen, like our poles,
Mm-hmm.
and they need supervised as well, and they are supervised for sure. And there's a lot of information on this poles or on this um, yeah. Currently, there we have one location. In principle, we will have more in a row, different ones in a row. Oh, there's so much information we have to make it a bit smaller here, whatever. So one structure, a lot of information given here. In principle, oh, something happens in the PDO. Let's have a look. In principle, the data that is visible to me as a user is only the data of the parts that I'm allowed to see. So if I'm the one taking care about the whole structure, I can see everything. If I'm just allowed to see the details of the mobile service, I can see the mobile service and don't take care about doors that are open or not. And okay, what we have in front of us here is a unit that is currently that is doing the rectifying of the mains power to DC. Currently, we don't have mains power, so something happens, and you see here at the battery voltage, it's going down. So we are living on battery. Oh, thanks a lot. But mains power is back. So our mains power system here is quite unstable, as we see. Great that we have some battery backup. This unit is very special and shows the principle of Kaa very well because we have both collected data, we have configured data, which is the maximum current per port that is allowed here, and which can be if I have the correct rights, if I'm the one to do it, which can be set via a screen here as well, or I can switch off some of the units. And here we see now there's a warning because one of the ports is going in near to the limit, short before it is switched off automatically. So we then can take care about this port, seeing what the units are that are connected to this port, and negotiate with our customer to have a contract for more power on this port. Yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to show it to you. I
Wow,
hope
cool.
this gives an insight on the system as it is. It's not limited to this. It's just a collection of what we have done. And as you can see, it's a quite different things that are done here. So everything can be done with the great help of Kaa team, in the front, in the back, with the data that is collected. Something can be done with the data and makes the data meaningful. Yeah, back to you, Anna.
All right. Really, like at the level. Thank you so much for sharing, and I hope that our audience enjoyed as well. So, as we are approaching actually the conclusion of our webinar, I have just one final question. So, when it comes to the KaaIoT platform, like it offers quite an extensive array of functionalities, right? So, which of
Yeah.
these features do you think really made the biggest impact on the whole smart pole solution? And I'm not talking about like dashboards, what we just saw, but I mean a little bit more underneath, in the core functionality.
Yeah. So what we see is the real-time interoperability. So data is coming in. You can react on data. The system is open to do it in the short term. If you have the right allowance, and this is one of the other thing, you have secure communication. You have very manageable data access or security level, so that only the data you are allowed to see are displayed to you, so you don't see the other data and you don't have access. And the other thing is, as you can see with the pole, which is also great, you can get data in a kind of hierarchical level, and segregate them so that you have one higher structure, and for example, the status, as we saw, the status for the pole is the most critical status of one of the units that is belonging to this pole. So, and this is also a big advantage. And for sure, no data is better than a meaningful data. Means the collection is nice, but doing something with the data, this is the real key benefit that is in the background. Nobody will see it, but it is done, and you have conditions, you have interactions, and if you interact like this, then something else will happen, and this is the big benefit you have with this solution.
Okay, thank you so much. So wrapping up, I wanted to say that I believe in smart city automation and such solutions as the smart pole, not just because it's about making cities smarter, right? It's about making them more like livable, sustainable, convenient for everyone, right? And the magic of smart city automation isn't in the gadgets and sensors alone, right? It's in the experiences it brings to our daily lives. It's in the cleaner air we breathe, the smoother traffic flow, right? Simplified parking, right? And the more efficient use of resources, of course. And it's about reducing our environmental footprint while enhancing the quality of our life.
Fully agree on this.
So we hope that our audience found the insights valuable. And guys, if you have any remaining questions, please feel free to ask, and we'll be happy to answer, because we are now moving to the Q&A session. All right. So the first question that we have now, I'm curious, what kind of cameras are typically integrated into smart poles for surveillance? Well, I can cover this question, Dietmar, if you want. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so because I understand your solution very well by now. So, smart poles can actually integrate various cameras, including security cameras, traffic cameras, and environmental monitoring cameras. So, I think the choice of cameras really depends on the surveillance and data collection needs of the city. If I'm mistaken, just please correct me if I'm wrong. But I
You're
think
right.
that should be it. Yeah. Okay. So can we get the next question on the screen, please? All right. So will the smart pole be able to have devices on several networks? For example, have an MAI collector for RF signals as well as cell signal for a field application network. Dietmar, I think that's yours.
Okay, this is a very typical question. So it depends a bit on the regulations and on the what is needed for the owner of the pole. We do both. You can have dedicated fiber into the pole for dedicated networks. So if for example, one cellular network needs to be separated, hardly separated by the other, then we can do different fibers, or we do it by virtual networking separation.
Yeah.
So that the networks will go out, will be splitted in the center. So both is possible.
Okay.
And for sure, there's also an internal network inside the structure itself to collect data from the units, the status data.
Okay. All right. Moving to the next one. Do you think features themselves also need to be flexible as society's behavior is changing factor two? Oh, yeah.
Shall I?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. I would say, of course. The the structure itself is not is able to be managed easily because you can open doors. You have reels at the side to attach new sensors, and the internal structure and also the structure of car is so flexible that you can it can grow with the demands and yeah. So absolutely yes, and manageable.
Okay. The next question coming from Ronald. Coming from the mobile alerting business, I'm very much interested in how you notify the responsible people in case some attention is needed. For example, for watering plants or more critical situations. That's a fun question, Ronald. Thank you so much.
Anna, you or me?
I think all of our questions will be for you, Dietmar, today, but as you wish. But I think
Okay. Yeah. So the solution that we built here is that um, a structure like the pole, for example, hosts a number of services, and these services themselves are supervised and generating a status, I would say, and the status is bubbled up so that if we look at the map of the poles itself, we see there is something in the pole. Then we go into the pole and we see an, the source of the thing, and depending on the allowance to get there, the manager of this can take actions. By the way, tickets will be generated automatically to work um, on this alarming and to understand what happens and how to rectify and to keep it for the future reference. So and the feature, the great feature behind is done in Kaa to get the right data to the right structure.
Yeah, and also, if you don't mind, I'll add something to it.
Yeah, sure.
So, from the car perspective, it really depends on, use case and requirements, right? For advanced group messages or specific escalations, we use custom integration, to schedule, broadcast, and resolve notifications with the custom service that of course can be customized for the needs of the some user or customer needs. So this, like, usually, technically this can be done with the help of a webhook action, uh, delivering through our rule engine that we released. Yeah, so that's from the car perspective.
Once again, it depends on the requirements of
Yeah,
this
of course.
specific
Absolutely.
customer.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, can we move to the next question, please? Ozgur, happy to see so much familiar faces. So, how do you connect these poles to each other? Which backhaul technology do you prefer for this? Fiber optic, mobile, or other? And how much data usage do they have? Dietmar, the floor is yours.
This is the like the question, what is the driver to do it? So it depends strongly on the habits in the area, what is needed. In principle, fiber is always the best for the data rate and for security and all these things. But whether it's an RF backhaul by mobile network or by microwave, we don't care. It's just data, and the if it comes to the data that needs to be handled, is strongly dependent on what you want to supervise or supervision. If you want to have the real videos, for example, or if you just want to have metadata, or if you want to have uh, just the data from the garbage bins or from the trees, which mostly are transmitted via LoRa, which is little data only. So it depends strongly on the use case.
Mhm. Okay, okay, good. The next question coming from Frank Brooks Jr. Are you building the IoT devices that go on the pole, or is the user customizing what the device is, what the message is for that device type, and then the platform reflects that metadata correctly?
Yeah, we have a set of sensors selected, but this is not limited to it. We are absolutely open to integrate whatever customer wants to have from and wants to see. Typical question, if it's the question for the cameras, most places they have already systems for surveillance and just need another place to put a special type of cameras. Or if you environmental sensors, also you mostly have already systems, and you just need to add something. And we are absolutely open. And it's just a question of mechanical interfacing, and the data we have power at the structure itself, so we can transform any data to and send it to car form platform, so that it's displayed correctly.
Okay. All right. Do we have any? Okay, that's. Should I read this? I don't know. Should I do this? Uh,
Yeah, happy birthday.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Maxime. Thank you, everyone. Uh, yeah, Ronald, you're welcome. I mean, we are always happy to see questions coming. Okay, so I guess that's it. I mean, we have a lot of questions posted, and we really appreciate, that you guys are so active, like really. And just be sure that we're gonna cover all of your questions. We will get back to you. Our team will respond to each and every of those. And it it was awesome. Thank you so much for our
Thank you.
audience. Thank you, Dietmar, to you. And yeah, please, stay tuned to more of our coming events. We're gonna have something interesting for you, preparing already. So yeah, thank you so much, all. Bye.